There are 4 places where a MyVote user can begin the voter registration process. First, there are 2 options for registration in the banner near the top of the page. They are Update My Name or Address and Register to Vote. In addition, there's a large Register to Vote button near the bottom of the page. And you can register by way of the Search by Name button that you find at the top of the page. The Register to Vote buttons in the banner and the round button at the bottom of the page will both act in exactly the same way. When you click either of these buttons, a page is open to begin the registration process. To begin the process, a user must first search for any voter registration records that may already exist in MyVote. The MyVote user will enter their first and last name and their date of birth, then press Search. If no matching voter registration record is found, the user should click the Register to Vote button. The progress bar at the top of the page provides a visual image of where the user is in the registration process. The first step in this process provides information regarding what the user will need in order to complete their voter registration. After reviewing the information, the user can click the button at the bottom of the page to continue to the next step. Step 2 asks all of the questions relating to eligibility. If a user is unsure of how to answer a question, each question has a button marked More Information. When the user clicks the plus sign, a pop-up showing additional information about that question will appear. To close the information box, the user can click anywhere outside of the box, and it will be closed. If the user indicates they do not have a Wisconsin driver's license, an additional question asking whether they have a Social Security number will be displayed. When the user indicates that they do have a driver's license or a Social Security number, additional fields become available to collect that information. If the user answers all of the questions, but fails to enter driver's license information or Social Security number information after they've indicated that they do have that document, and then they click the button to continue at the bottom of the page, MyVote will prevent the user from continuing past this step until all required fields are completed. Notice that the missing information is indicated in red. This will be the case anytime a user attempts to move forward when there's required information that's missing from a page. The user must enter that information and then proceed to click Continue at the bottom of the page. Note that if a user answers an eligibility question in a way that indicates that they are ineligible to vote, when they attempt to continue to the next step, they'll receive a message notifying them that they are ineligible and providing the reason that they are ineligible. If the user believes they've marked the form in error, they can return to the eligibility question by clicking the previous link at the bottom of the message. Step 3 will include the user's first name and last name and date of birth as they were entered on the search page. If we zoom in and take a closer look, you can see that the required fields show an asterisk next to the field name. Any optional fields do not contain the asterisks. The user may now add their middle name or initial and a suffix such as junior or senior. If applicable, the user should check the box to indicate they have a prior name. Additional fields open to allow the user to enter their prior name. If the box has been checked, the previous first name and last name fields are also required. If the box has been checked in error, to remove the requirement for first name and last name, just uncheck the prior name box. Step 4 requires the user to enter their current Wisconsin address. If they don't have a current Wisconsin address, they cannot complete the registration. In addition to the current Wisconsin address, the user will have an option of adding either a prior address or a separate mailing address, or both. To do this, they need to check the boxes shown here. Once the box is checked, additional fields become available to complete the prior or mailing address information. Remember that once a box is checked, some or all of the corresponding fields will become required. The prior address information will include a street address. For the mailing address, you have options for the format, including a U.S. mailing address, which is the physical street address, or a foreign mailing address, or a P.O. box. The format selected will determine the fields that are shown and which fields will be required. The user may include additional optional information, such as their email address and phone number, on this page as well. If MyVote is unable to validate the address that was entered, the user may do one of 2 things. Either try entering different information, or give up trying to enter the registration through MyVote. In the case shown here, the word county has been abbreviated to CO. If the user tries to enter the same address but spells out the word county, they can attempt to go to the next step again. In this case, spelling out the word county did the trick, and we've moved to step 5, which will allow the user to review and certify the registration information that was provided on the 4 previous screens. To edit any of the information, the user may click the Edit link at the end of each question or data field. The user must then check the box to certify the information they are providing is true and correct, and they must check the box to confirm they are not a robot. The box indicating they're not a robot is a security feature. Therefore, if you're using the same computer to register several voters, and you're using MyVote frequently, you may see a confirmation box like the one shown here after checking I am not a robot. Because this may cause significant delays during Election Day registration, this security feature will be disabled on Election Day. Once the checkmark appears in the I am not a robot box, the user may continue to the next step. While MyVote is processing the registration application, you may see a screen that is similar to the one shown here. The arrows in the center indicate that MyVote is working to process the voter registration form. During periods of high volume usage, you may see this happening for several seconds. Step 6 allows the user to download or print the registration form. The seventh and final step is to deliver the application along with their proof of residence to the clerk's office or the polling location. This page includes specific information regarding the deadline for sending the application by mail and the deadline for bringing the application in person to the clerk's office. This is the same information that was on the first page of the form that was available to be downloaded or printed. At this point, the user has completed the MyVote portion of the registration process.